Well, this is going to be such a treat and so much fun for me because Danielle Wilkie is here, and boy, does she have a history with Compass in Colorado. Everybody in Colorado knows Danielle, but she has launched into her own brand new company. She's the CEO and founder of The Helm, and we're going to find out about that. But the force of nature she is, this is Danielle Wilkie.
Oh, it's so good to be here
Good
with
to be
you
here.
in this amazing place.
Is this gorgeous?
I mean, there's nothing better.
You know what? Colorado is just so special, but let's no more people.
That's what my dad says too.
Right, we don't want to do that. Danielle, you have made a giant U-turn in your life, but tell us a little bit. I mean, your history with Compass as the person who came in and hired everybody and started out all the offices in Colorado. How many offices were there?
When I started, I think there were 2 or 3. And by the time I left, I was overseeing, all of the central U.S., which was hundreds and hundreds of offices, Colorado and beyond.
And did you just work yourself out of a job or something? your job project was all done?
No, I love Compass. I still love Compass. I was just saying to someone this morning that anytime an agent asks me, where should I be? I always say Compass.
Well, of course.
But I got to a point where I was ready to do something different. And I've been thinking about it for a while, and it just was the right time. And the good news is I had just amazing support from Robert and everyone down to go and
That's
do
Robert
my new
Refkin,
thing.
who's the founder and CEO of Compass. No surprise he would be supportive.
Yes.
I mean, when Robert Refkin wants to recruit somebody like he did me, I got a text from Robert Refkin.
It's crazy.
I mean,
he's amazing.
He's amazing. So of course he was supportive of you, but here's the thing. I mean, if I'm sitting in Aspen, Colorado thinking, what was she thinking? She had this gigantic job.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
female executive in a giant company, and just said, well, I'm just going to go do something new.
That's what my husband said the same thing.
I'll bet he did. You did do
He
what?
said the same thing. I've been thinking about this business for quite some time, and I think there's a moment in your life where there's this voice. There's actually this great Greta Gerwig quote where she talks about, the fear of not doing something eventually becomes bigger than the fear of failing.
That's good.
And I think that's where I was. I was like, this is my moment. This is my time. I want to go give this a go. And who knows, how it goes, but you got to give it a try. So it was time.
What is the Helm?
The Helm.
What's the Helm?
Well, one of the things that I found as being part of Compass and the real estate industry and looking around me was that, I loved all the women entrepreneurs. In fact, it's one of the reasons I came to real estate.
Right.
I was like, whoa, every day you get to come to work and work with all these incredible women. In fact, the industry, as we all know, is like over 65%
Right.
women. And yet I was looking around at all of the coaches at the national level. And we all know their names.
Yes.
And I realized there were no women. And I thought, well, that's strange. I must be missing something, So we dug and dug and dug, and we tried to find. And sure enough, there just weren't women at the national level. And I thought, gosh, that feels like something that we should do something about, and that we can do something about. We don't need a NAR committee,
No,
we don't need to, let's just go do it, because I'm a doer like you, Ann. And I'm like, let's just go figure this out. So that's what I did.
And so, in terms of coaching,
Yeah.
are you taking? Is this any level of broker or any? I
No.
know you're doing other businesses as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
You're doing any kind of
Yeah.
executive, right?
Well, I'm really focused on, to start, first I'll say that this year I've had this amazing group of our agent CEO women who I've been involved with. So there's 5 incredible women who we've had this amazing transformational year together. But now I'm expanding to looking for helping women who want to become coaches, because there just aren't enough. But in my opinion, experience matters. When you're looking for a coach, you want someone who's been there, done that.
Yes.
And so, we're looking for women who've been in the industry 10 plus years, who have the battle scars to prove it, have had some success.
Sign me up.
I know. And who actually have some wisdom and expertise to deliver. So that's what I'm looking for.
And it's not just nuts and bolts real estate,
No,
right?
it's life. Yes, it's life. I always I tell people all the time, who do I want to spend time with? I want to spend time with the woman who's 10 years older than I am, 20 years older than I am. Why? because she's done it already. Like, why would I waste my time and energy, trying to figure it
Right.
out when she can share?
And you've got 2 sons.
I have 2 sons.
So you're doing this all while raising
Yes.
teenagers?
I have a preteen and a teen.
Ouch.
I know.
That's
It's
pretty
not
scary.
easy. I'm
you
surrounded
know.
by men, so
But-
that's why I like to be around the women sometimes
but
too.
that's it. Really, that motherhood aspect of your life is so huge in coaching other women because
So huge.
they're trying to juggle too.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I find that the depths that women bring, sort of the complexities and textures, because of all the things that they generally are responsible for, is just so rich and wonderful. Which is
Right.
why, like, when you get women together, oh, it's just like, I get chills. Like, magic happens because you can just like cut right to the real stuff.
I think so.
The real stuff, and you don't have to waste any time.
So let's talk about this shift idea.
Yeah.
When did you know? Because this is the hardest part for all of us, I think. When we're going to I've reinvented myself
Yes, you
2 or 3
have.
times.
Yes, you have.
And when did you know? Like, how did your head, your heart, your body tell you, I need to make this happen?
I think you just nailed it. There is this concept of when we make decisions and how we make decisions that has to include exactly what you just said, your head, your heart, and your gut. And those 3 things all have to work together to make a choice. I think sometimes people sit down and they're like, I've done the pros and cons list. The pros are this, the cons are this. I've looked at it 100 times. I've asked everybody I know. And at some point, you have to go inside and you have to process that sort of logic and intellect through your own experience. And when you do, sometimes it tells you the right thing. I know it seems crazy. And sometimes people are like, Danielle, you're nuts. And I just say, there was this one day, this is the day it happened. I was on a call with someone at Compass, and we were talking about, future and things that are going on. And I remember just saying, no. And I don't know where it came from. I mean, my husband and I had not talked about it. I mean, it was just one of those
Wow.
moments where I just was like, no, I think this time for me to do something different. But that was a process that took time. It wasn't like a flip it, I processed that over some period of time, thinking about what I wanted to do, and then I listened to where it was coming from. I also say to people all the time, and I wonder if you've used any of these tools, but making a hard decision, like a life choice, we all have many seasons. We go through a lot of change, like you, like me, like everybody. And there's like a couple questions I like to ask myself to help me figure it out.
Which are?
One of them is, if I wasn't anxious or scared, would I do this?
Oh, I just love that. That's perfect.
The second one is, if nobody knew what I was doing, I wasn't worried about what anybody else thought, would I do this?
Oh, that's a good one.
And then the third one is, if I were to find out a year from now that I was not well, that I had short time to live, and I looked back on this moment and this decision I was making, which one would I regret more?
Wow.
And when I ask myself those 3 questions, it's just so obvious.
It's
so obvious.
obvious. And then to have the courage to go do
Oh,
it.
the courage.
That's the scary part, right? You got to dig deep, suck it up.
I know.
And no, you know what? You should have a sign in your office, no whining, right?
love
We
that.
should all have that.
I love that, no whining.
Because it is not easy to navigate something brand new like that.
No, where a lot of strength for this comes from me is many of the women I've met in real estate, a lot of the agents, many of the top agents. I think about they all at some point, like you, did this. They decided, I'm going to go do my own thing. I'm going to have my own business. I'm going to make this happen. And so I think to myself, I can't do this. I can't do this. I think, look at all these women who did it.
If you were going to describe it as a coach to a broker, and they said, what am I supposed to do? And you described, here's your most perfect day. What would you tell them?
As a broker?
Just
as a human?
as a coach, as a perfect
coach.
person.
Well, why don't I tell you mine?
Your perfect day.
Yeah, why don't I tell you mine? My perfect day, I actually live a lot more than I ever used to. Not perfect, but try. I'm an early person, so I like to get up early. There's something about that sort of like, I'm an optimist, and there's something about the newness of a day that is really exciting for me. So I love getting up early. It's quiet. My family's not up yet. It's my time. I take my dog for a walk. I come back. I have a cup of coffee. I have some time with the newspaper, see what's happening in the world. I get my family out the door. I meditate. I write. for about 30 minutes based on sort of what was coming up for me in that meditation. And then I get to work because I love to work. Like I have to like pull myself out from like going straight to work. It's been hard for me. And then a perfect day is like, I'm not working till 10 o'clock at night. I'm working till like 5 or 6. I'm having dinner with my family. I'm able to see my children and go to their sporting events. And I'm able to spend time with them in the evenings before I curl up in bed with a really good fiction book. And that is a perfect day for me.
I think that's wonderful. And so tell me this, there are bound to be bumps in the road here.
Oh, there already are.
And challenges for you to meet. And so just talk, you don't have to say what it is specifically, but tell me, you know, what was it like what was a hurdle you had to go over?
I think that when you're starting your own business, you think you know what the thing is, but you have to be open to the idea it could be something different. So, you know, when I first started out, I thought this was going to be one thing, and it sort of evolved into that which was unexpected, and you have to be open to that. And I've also found that the fear is present every single day. It's not even like one thing. It's just, sometimes I wake up in the morning with like abject fear. Like, what am I doing? This is crazy, you know? But what gets me through that is I remember what I'm trying to do, but then I have broken it down into some very basic daily things that just need to get done. And so today I'm just going to focus on doing those things. And I know if I do those things today, I am moving toward that thing, but I don't have to do that thing today. You know, I just have to do these things today.
This is very Tony Robbins. It's very, chunk it down into day parts. If you chunk it down, you can accomplish it. And sometimes it's as simple as Admiral McChrystal says, get up and make your bed.
Truth.
True?
Truth. I couldn't agree more.
Right. So what drives you crazy? You're so full of energy.
I am
life,
right now. I am right now.
And you're fueled, obviously, and inspired. But what just drives you crazy right now?
I'll tell you what's driving me crazy right now in real estate.
Tell me.
The whining about the changes.
Yeah,
That's driving me crazy. I just want to look at everybody and say, are you kidding me? Like, I've been through many industries that have gone through very significant change. And when you start to see this kind of disruption, there is nothing but opportunity for the right-minded people here. And so I'm kind of at my wit's end with about the whining. I'm like, yeah, it's hard. Yeah, we have to change. Yeah, we have to do some things differently. But the people who are up for it, there's nothing but opportunity here.
I don't get it. I don't think it's so hard.
I don't
mean,
either.
it's just a little more work.
Confidence.
And a little, I think it's all I think a year from now, we're all gonna say, well,
thank
okay,
goodness. And
we
thank
did
goodness.
that.
And
right?
thank goodness it happened, because look who's left.
Right.
The
Well,
pros.
The pros.
The pros, which is so desperately what this industry needs. I mean, I actually I have a lot of friends who are not from real estate, because much of my career was in technology before I came to real estate. And they're always like giving me a hard time. Tell me what an agent does. Why is an agent important? And I always sit down and I talk to them about what they're doing. They're like, oh yeah, I didn't really understand that. I didn't know. I'm like, oh my gosh, like we have so much work to do as an industry.
I think you're right.
We really do. And I think this is an opportunity for us to go get that.
I love your saying that. Also, yeah, I know that this fall is going to be significant for you because you're kind of returning a little bit to tech.
Yeah.
And honestly, the University of Chicago.
Oh yeah, I'm teaching there.
That's a heady little experience.
It's a heady little experience for sure. I was actually just teaching a class last night. Yeah, it's been a really, you know, as you think about the different seasons in your life and what you want or what you don't want, I've been thinking about this particular season as sort of like a test. What do I like? What do I not like? I think I might like teaching, but do I like teaching? Let's try it and see what happens.
And tell me about the class.
The class is for chief revenue officers, for their executive education program, and I am teaching a specific area on customer lifecycle management, like how to know your clients, how to know your customers, how to like take them through the experience. So.
That part I understand. The one you said before, I have no idea what that is. Well, listen, we're going to have about 50 very high-level Compass producers today, the most amazing women. And this morning, I have to say, just very quickly, we have to wrap this up, but Dan Bretner, the man who wrote the Blue Zones, was being interviewed this morning. And you know, he never talks about the Blue Zones. He was talking about 20 minutes of walking a day will add 2 years to your life, even just that. And so he went through the whole Blue Zone thing. And of course, the last one is always community.
Oh, that's so funny you should say that. I was thinking about that on the way here today.
It's always community, and that's exactly what we're doing here today. So I can't thank you enough for coming and just making the effort. I mean, you weren't even going to be here to do
I know.
this,
Well,
and-
I'm close. I mean, I'm in Colorado.
Right.
You know,
Well,
so
I'm
I'd love to be here.
Very grateful, and I appreciate all the pearls of wisdom, and I
I'm
know
honored to be
everybody
here.
will too, and all the people out there.
Thank you so much. It's great to be with you, Ann.
You're welcome.